slides. I don't like slides. I prefer to interact with you. So if you have any question during my speech, please interrupt me, and I gladly answer to you. The Rock Trading, just a brief history. We are a boutique trading platform. We started our venture before Satoshi white paper in 2007 in Second Life, and where I met my associate Davide. He's working right now, so he cannot be here. And we started as a game. Basically, Second Life in those times was quite an interesting place where business was growing, and we decided to provide insurance certificates to local Second Life banks. Then Second Life had some changes. My associate in 2010 came to me and told me about this Bitcoin Satoshi. I didn't have an idea what he was talking about, but I told him, okay, move on, let's get away from a Second Life and try to see for a new venture. In June 1st of 2011, we traded our first Bitcoin against Linden dollars, which was Second Life home currencies. And we started over there, our venture, still as a game. However, in 2013, when the game was not any longer a game, but became something more serious, we decided to open a company. In those times, we had two choices, either to go offshore or to try to create an industry onshore. So basically, in those times, as well as today, but those times were different, everybody were looking at us as strange people, weird people, making frauds or any kind of bad things. So we decided, no, okay, let's stay in Europe, let's talk with regulators, talk with the peoples, and explain to them that it's not such a bad thing what we are doing. So we opened it in 2013 in Malta. Malta, for the past 5 years, I've been answering why we opened it in Malta, because it was very simple. In Malta, we founded the only bank in Europe which opened an account for us. So therefore, they rightfully asked us to create a company in Malta, and we did so. 2 months ago, we left Malta. So 5 years after our decision to be in Malta, we left Malta, and we are now here in Italy, 100% Italian company. So now everybody's asking me, why are you leaving Malta? So I expect this type of question for the next few years to come. So why we are in Italy? We are in Italy because, first of all, we are Italians, as you can understand from my accent. We have been always in Italy. My associate is in Padua. I'm from Milano, but I live in Genoa. So basically, it was for us the right place to be in the right moment. Right now, we do believe that Italy has a unique opportunity to create an industry. It's a new industry. We have talents in Italy, very good people, capable, knowledgeable, which we hope not to lose them. So if we are going to work properly with the authorities, Italian authorities, so hopefully we are going to create a system here in Italy, create jobs, and all the economy will improve thanks to this technology. So a trading platform. Trading platform is something very boring, very conventional. We are exactly the contrary of what we have been talking about up to now. This morning we started with the first speech. We were talking about decentralization, open source. We are the old. We are completely contrary. We are a central authority. We control your assets. You are at risk to lose your assets because we own your private keys. So we can run away. We can be hacked. So it's very dangerous for all of you to leave your assets with any exchange. But unfortunately, for now, at least for a few years, I believe so, this is the only way for the people to be in contact from the fiat money like euro and the crypto value. So miners still need to pay their bills, so they need to pay their bills with fiat currencies, so they need to exchange. People are making speculations, people are investing. So until we are going to have the fiat currencies, exchanges are a necessity to our industry. So I realize that most of you don't like it. I don't like it either, but this is it. So what are the major challenges for an exchange, at least in the European hemisphere and North America hemisphere? We are in contact between the traditional world, which is the fiat, which is heavily regulated, with difficult laws to follow, sometimes unreasonable, but they are there, and we must follow it. So we must apply all the anti-money laundering laws, the KYC laws, and many other things which our regulators and legislators created in the past years. On the other hand, we have the crypto world, which is completely new, is completely unknown, especially to legislators. They are trying now to understand how to regulate it, but we are still very far away from a proper regulation. The worst mistake they can make is to apply the same rules for fiat currencies into the cryptocurrencies, because it's not going to work, it's going to fail. So our objective is, being here in Italy, but especially being in Europe, is to work closely in cooperation with legislators and regulators, Italian ones and European ones, of course, in order to exchange our experiences, try to explain them what we are doing and where are the real dangers and the opportunities, and vice versa, listening to them about their concerns and try to find common solutions in order to work together, hopefully in a proper environment. It's not going to be easy, it's going to be difficult, we know this, but it's part of our job, otherwise we wouldn't be here. So The Rock is a small boutique exchange. We are mainly focalized right now on the Italian market. Our business plan for the next 3 years will bring us to a European level, so we are going to more focus on the European level. So we are making some major changes into our platform. We are really looking in, for the past years, a growing interest by the standard financial institutions. So basically, all the major institutions, the traditional financial institutions, they are looking now into this type of economy. They are interested. They don't know how to handle it because the lack of regulations for them is a problem, obviously. But the attention is growing, and hopefully, I hope it's going to be beneficial. So the three major challenges for an exchange, so why there are not 1,000 exchanges, for example, in Europe, dealing with fiat currencies. There could be thousands by now. So the major reasons why there are not so many exchanges all around the world, especially in Europe and in North America, is due for three major factors. One is technology. Yes, we have a centralized platform and internal database, but we have to handle wallets. Wallets, they are under attack by hackers on a daily basis, so we have to defend the assets we own. We don't really own it, owned by our customers. This is a difficult task. It's a daily job, 24 hours a day. It's not easy. This is why we strongly suggest not to consider an exchange as a wallet. A wallet is one thing, an exchange is another purpose. So always take away your funds. The second major challenge is the lack of regulation, obviously, as I briefly mentioned to you. And the third big challenge for any exchange dealing with fiat is the banking relationship. Banks are worried, are scared, and I understand why, because banks, they are dealing with a regulated world where they have very strict rules which they have to follow. So it is very difficult to explain to a bank what we are doing, the best practices we are applying, because they are worried of sanctions, they are worried of reputational risks. There's so many worries which they are understandable, as a matter of fact. Initially, I couldn't understand. Now that I'm dealing on a daily basis with them, I can understand it. So this is the major reason why there are not so many exchanges, because it's difficult to have all the three parts together for at least an amount of time which can justify the existence of an exchange. In the past, as you know, we witnessed many exchanges disappear, either for hack, for frauds. Many other exchanges, they suffered hacks, and fortunately somehow they survived, but that is a dangerous proposition. So basically, this is, I don't want to keep you too much time about something which is quite boring. So if you have any question, please ask to me. But our intention is to create a system, an industry in Italy. So we are creating jobs, we are hiring people, we are getting bigger, we are working with regulators. We strongly believe it is possible for this country to be at the same level. There is, sorry, because with the lights I cannot see. 1 second, I'm with you. It is very important for us to prove that we can still do some work in this country, because we have the people, and so we have to avoid that they're living like they normally do. There was one question over there. Massimo, 2 questions, 3, 4, a few. Okay.
Hi, thank you very much for your presentation. I'm Giacomo from Mangrovia Blockchain Solutions. We're a software development company, blockchain development company. I'd like to talk to you for about a couple of hours, but, the main question I have is, in order to regulate an investment fund, for example, I need to have a custodian bank that holds the money of my investors. The same thing applies to exchanges in general, or should apply to exchanges in general in the crypto world as well. Until custodian banks are a regulated matter. Today, no bank wants to work with exchanges, as you know much better than me. How is that going to pan out? I mean, I don't see an immediate solution at the moment unless regulations are implemented. I have another question for you, or better. I have noticed that it appears to me that many of the exchanges existing today appear to be fake, or at least have fake numbers. Look at Binance. How come they claim a certain amount of value of cryptocurrencies that never changes? I mean, the market goes up and down in a dramatic way, and you've always got the same amount of assets under management claimed, and so on for transactions. And there's no fee, so probably they buy and sell to create volume, but the actual number of the amount of assets under management appears to be completely a fraud. I'll stop here.
Yes. Okay, the first question is always the same problem, bank relationship. By the way, there is one bank representative here, which I have to be careful in what I'm talking about. And so bank relationship, we have to try to anticipate what the regulators or the legislators are going to create. So for example, in our case, in end of 2016, beginning of 2017, we decided not to handle any longer customer fiat funds, but to delegate a company with a regular European license, IP license, payment institution, in order to handle all the requests which eventually came out with the fourth directive AML, European fourth directive AML. And so they are taking care about all the KYC, anti-money laundering, possible SOS information. Everything is requested for fiat currencies. So we anticipated that, and we always monitor the evolution in order to try to anticipate what the legislator eventually is going to ask us. About the manipulation, obviously I'm not going to talk about a single exchange like you mentioned, but manipulation of the market is not something new in our industry. It's very likely, it happens, it happened a lot, and it's going to happen again. You know, the industry is a small industry, so it's easy to manipulate the market with not such large amounts. So yes, it is happening, and so this is why it's important for you all to do a minimum due diligence where you are sending your funds. So if you see something suspicious, you know, volumes which they don't make sense, trading which currencies which they don't make sense. So just be careful, just be aware. You can still make a speculation, but at least you know what you're going to do. So be careful with the price manipulations and volume manipulations which are common in our industry.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. I have 2 questions. One is about the stable coins, centralized ones like Tether USD, or decentralized like DAI token. And so what do you think about stable coins and if are safe to use? And the other is about decentralized exchanges. So do you think that they will be the default choice for crypto to crypto trades in future? Thanks.
So stable coins, I will answer the second question first, and then I'll get to the stable coins because it's subsequently. Decentralized exchanges are the future. We know we are dead if we're not going to evolve. So this is a fact. We are a centralized system, an old system. So we know that eventually the technology is moving on, fortunately, and if we're not going to evolve and follow the technology, we're going to be dead in a few years from now. It's going to take a little longer for us to die because we are still dealing with fiat, and fiat is, until everybody is still utilizing fiat, we have to follow certain type of rules, but the crypto to crypto, decentralized exchanges, eventually in the future will work. Right now, no, because time lag is still a little complicated, but maybe a couple of years from now it's going to work. Stablecoins could be the solution to decentralized fiat as well. So we are talking about a currency which is hopefully pegged. So is where I emphasize pegged. Still is a central point of failure. Someone is claiming to peg a coin. So this someone can disappear, something can happen. So everything is centralized. Control is not very good for our technology. But I believe stablecoins will be something big in the next couple of years. Last week, if I remember well, Goldman Sachs came out with a news that they are going to introduce a USD Goldman Sachs pegged coin. So this is big news because obviously Goldman Sachs has a name, worldwide recognizable name, which we can feel they have the pegged part. Other pegged coins which are coming out right now, presently in the future, the difficult part is to verify if they are really pegged or not. So my question is, okay, you have a pegged coin, let me see where is pegged, let me see a verifiable certification which is real. Otherwise, it's too easy to print money. Already Draghi is doing this, so you don't have to do it.
Just one question here.
Hi. As a trading perspective, we can say more or less now all the currencies are linked to Bitcoin. So would you advocate in the future more direct exchange with fiat currency to alt currency to evaluate better the value of project? Because now even let's say a project is a good project, but Bitcoin value goes down, directly the alt value goes down more or less. So it would be better to expand the amount of people that can trade and be interested in the alternative currency, also expanding the direct fiat currency and alternative currency change. Is it something that you are thinking about?
Yes, Bitcoin is the benchmark of the currencies. So it's like the Swiss francs for the fiat currencies. So it's a point of reference. It's still the most important. It's the original one. Is the safest. Is not subject to. It's not so easy to attack it. So there are many plus about Bitcoins. About is a scarce. There are not too many Bitcoins. There are now, up to 21 million is nothing. So the objective now for our industry is to move forward. Up to now, our industry, which is normal, is happening in any tech industry, was mainly followed by devs, by techs people, very knowledgeable about the codes and to work on the codes, the improvements of the codes, which is fine, obviously is needed. But then we have to move forward and to make this technology easier for the outside people to get involved. Right now it's very complicated. If you have to open my Ethereum wallet, wallet is complicated. Even person with some knowledge has some problems. So the next step in the next few years, we will see some improvements about how to get closer to the technology in an easy way. We have a good example in Italy today. It's not here because it's in Rimini. Conio, for example, is a wallet which is much more easier. Obviously, you have to sacrifice some privacy, but there are, in order to make it some transactions easier for the people, you have to renounce to some of your privacy. But this is part of life. So we have to improve our marketing and make tools easier to understand for the people. Otherwise, we are not going to move away.
Thank you again.